Hello friends! Today we have a short retelling of a dramatic thriller with a very interesting plot called Be Careful What You Wish For. A young guy, Duck, who went to a country house on the lake in the summer. Living with his parents, he spends his free time with his best friend Carson and also works as a waiter at a local cafe. When the teenagers finished the next class of high school, they wanted to meet beautiful girls and get their first intimate experience. To be ready for this, they equip a room by the lake, moving a mattress and other things there. Sometime later, Duck notices that new neighbors have appeared in the house opposite. It's the Harper married couple. Elliot is a successful banker, Lena is a young and charming blonde. Hormones took over and the teenager cannot stop looking at a beautiful girl who noticed his attention. A few days later, Duck meets a new neighbor who offers to refurbish the old yacht. The guy immediately agrees with the banker's proposal, as this will give him new earnings and he will be closer to Lena. The next morning, Duck tries to inspect the yacht but is unable to concentrate due to a girl taking a shower nearby. Elliot flies to San Francisco for a few days, so the guy must independently determine his scope of work and start restoring the yacht. When he was repairing the part, he heard the cry of the girl and ran to her aid. It turned out that Lena was frightened of a small spider and the engine of her car stalled. Duck easily understands the spider and helps to start the car. Then he goes to his work and tells everything to his friend. Teenage hormones make themselves felt and he brags to Carson that supposedly Lena made obvious hints and clung to him. Already in the evening, Duck meets a girl on the threshold of his house. It turned out that she was not only a coward but also not clumsy. Having locked the door and having lost the key, Lena cannot get home. The guy cannot help her and taking a large stone breaks the glass in the basement, penetrates into the house and unlocks the door to the girl. Noticing Duck's paresis, she treats the wound. Feeling a romantic moment, he kisses her and asks for forgiveness for this, but Lena not only does not mind, but also wants him to repeat it. Passion flares between them and they make love in the kitchen, stairs, and bedroom. In the morning, Duck admits that he has not yet had such an experience, but as it turned out, he is a good lover. All the next day, Duck repairs the rich man's yacht and brings it into a divine form. Lena does not love her husband and is ready to travel around the world with her boyfriend. But he is not yet ready for such adventures. A couple of days later, Elliot returns to the city and Lena moves away from the guy. Having met by chance in a store, they go out through the back door and make love. Elliot searches for his wife and nearly finds her in the arms of her lover. The next day, the banker inspects the yacht and finds rust. I demand that Duck be more attentive to such things. He sees perseverance and hard work in the guy, so he does not fire him, but only warns him about the next business trip. As soon as Elliot has left again, the couple retires to his house and catches the eye of the gardener. Talking about past relationships, Duck learns that Lena dated other girls, and the tattoo on her leg reminds her of a broken relationship. To stay in touch, the girl gives the guy a phone, the number of which only she has. Sometime later, Elliot returns and invites Duck to try out the yacht by going for a walk on the lake. At some point, the sail cable breaks, but the banker miraculously becomes unharmed. Speaking about his personal life, Duck admits that he has a girlfriend who is dating a goat and he will do everything to win her. Soon the yacht stops due to a faulty engine. While the banker is looking for a breakdown, Lena reports that she is ready to file for divorce and will tell her husband about it in the evening. Already at night, she calls Duck and says that her husband hit her and left on business. The couple spend the next week together hiding from prying eyes. As soon as Lena's husband returned home, she calls the guy and asks him to meet. Arriving at the girl's house, he sees the body of Eliota lying on the floor. Lena cries, saying that she defended herself by hitting him on the head with a fire extinguisher. Duck wants to call an ambulance and the police, but the girl is afraid that all suspicions will fall on her and she will be sent to prison. The guy asks to be patient for a few hours and leaves for his work. In the cafe, everything falls out of his hands, as he is nervous and thinks what to do with the body. Upon returning home, Duck meets the girl at his house. It turned out that she could not be alone with her husband and decided to meet the guy's parents. Returning to a nearby house, Duck eliminates the evidence and hides the banker's bodies in the trunk of his car. Having gone to the pier, he drags Elliot's body onto the yacht and goes for a walk on the lake. The guard notices something is wrong, but Duck pretends to be a banker imitating his usual movements. Having sailed away from the coast, the guy burns the yacht to pass it off as an accident. The next morning, the police find the burned-out ship and discover Elliot's body. At the cafe, Carson reveals that Lena benefited from her husband's death. As it turned out, the banker insured life for $5 million. And after 2 years of marriage, this amount doubles. No one wants to pay this amount, so the insurance company sent a private detective to investigate what happened. Soon Angie Alvarez arrives in the city, a novice specialist whose task is to confirm or deny Lena's involvement in her husband's death. Angie interrogates the widow and all the time suspects her of something. At the same time, the policeman once again inspects the yacht and finds nothing that could indicate a murder. An attentive guard thinks otherwise. After all, he saw Elliot, but he believes that someone was pretending when he was already dead. The security guard follows the guy from the cafe and suspects him of something. But Shreve does not take his words seriously and believes that he is just playing detective. Arriving at the couple's house, Angie and Shreve carefully inspect the house. Going outside, the detective notices broken glass in the basement, which left traces of blood. Soon Angie begins to suspect the guy and interrogates him. But Dag's mother is an experienced rager and easily defends him. Lena sends a message and wants to meet at their usual place. After giving away the secret phone, she asks Doug to hide them until the case is resolved. Returning home, the guy learns that the girl changed her testimony and told the police that someone broke into the house and stole her underwear. The font and the detective takes prints from the neighbors, believing that one of them could be the attacker. I understand that the circle of suspects is narrowing. Duck tells everything to his best friend. Carson offers to confess to the font, as he is kind and will definitely help him. But in order to believe in his words, irrefutable evidence is needed confirming the connection between Duck and Lena. Remembering the secret phones, Duck tries to talk to Shreve. But his mother calls and asks him to come home. Finding the underwear of a married woman, she asks him for an explanation. The teenager still admits that he slept with Lena and was involved in Elliot's death. The font who checked the fingerprints came to arrest the guy. But Duck escapes through the window and rides his bike to the house by the river. Angie pursues him and calls the police for backup. Once in place, the guy does not find the phones and meets Lena. Hearing cars approaching, Lena rips off her dress and falls onto the mattress with Duck, simulating an attempt to take her by force. The police arrest the guy, and Angie takes the girl to the hotel to calm down. Duck convinces Shreve that he is not guilty and can provide evidence that exonerates him. The cop lets the guy escape with a 20-minute head start. In the hotel room, Duck finds a phone with compromising evidence and meets Angie. The detective handcuffs the guy to the bed and rings the font. Leaving the room, Angie strokes the house and Duck realizes that they are lovers with the same tattoos on their legs. He also learns that the call to the font was a hoax because the phone is not connected to the network. The girls leave, but after a few minutes they come back. Either Lena loved the guy or just felt sorry, but she leaves a secret phone. Having rented a plane, the girls fly away in an unknown direction. Duck gets the minimum sentence for complicity, but he was released early for good behavior. Returning to the house by the lake, he realizes that he has become different. In youth, there is no time to think about the consequences of actions, and people who warn of danger are not taken seriously. So it was with him. However, if it were possible to return everything, Duck would not act differently, because Lena, her smile, shape and figure attracted him. What would you do if you were in Duck's place? Share your opinion in the comments. Friends, thank you for watching to the end. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and tell your friends about this channel.